Hello race fans, ORC Speedy Jab here. Welcome you to another Project Cars 2 video. This time as promised on the Nurburgring sprint course. This was my very second, or only second, race ever online that I did. So I just kind of wanted to go over, hopefully you guys saw the Long Beach race that I did, which was the very first online experience. Kind of just went over my thoughts and kind of what was going on in my head during the race, and kind of talking through some of the issues that I had been pinballed around at that race course. So this one's going to be a little bit better, and you can see as we get to the race here pretty soon, I actually qualified, I think, in second place, right at the top of the grid. Yep, qualified in second place there. So here we go, Nurburgring Sprint and the Renault Megane. I got a good launch, but that guy, ooh, looks like we got a schmozzle behind there. One guy plowing himself into the wall or getting plowed by that other driver. So you see I got a decent start. Stayed really inside, give him enough room, and that Momo car just goes right around, sweeps right around the outside. Good move by him. So second place still, not bad. That's where I started. So we're going to try to, just keep up with him. And not try to let anybody else pass. A little lock up there, but nothing bad. Same with the driver number one. But that does allow the third place driver to eke up a little bit of time. And look at that. His wide angle gives him way better lines. So I'm just going to hang out on the outside here, give him plenty of room. You see, lock up the inside wheel there just a little bit too. And now under threat from the fourth place driver, which he actually backs out of that one. So we're good to go. So third place now. We've got two drivers to hunt down. I get a great run out of that corner and decided to back out of it because he I don't know if he didn't see me or he was just going to close the door and take the apex no matter what. So I had about, I wasn't fully there alongside to really make a move, but I was close enough to be actually level with his rear wheel. So one of those things where you just decide risk versus reward, back out of it a little bit, don't lose too much, take a lot of curve there. Ooh, and actually too much curve, give the air bubbles car there a little bit of a sniff. So it's like, yeah, he's going to go through. Oh, and parks in the apex. Good job from him, actually. Oh, dang, look at that. We got cars mounting each other in the background. That was amazing. So it looks like everybody still survived. I don't think there was damage on in this race, if I remember correctly. But all right, just past start finishing for the first flying lap. Coming in T1, the air bubbles car locks up a little bit. Mobiles goes wide, take out some of those cones. We go around left-hand corner. I can't remember the names of these corners. I think we're coming in the stadium section right now, they call it, or Mercedes Arena, I want to say. Up the inside cleanly of the air bubbles car. Mobile driver, for some reason, gets locked up, comes across and smashes out the air bubbles car. That was interesting. Yeah, nothing I could do there. I mean, I'm on the outside of that line waiting to take a right-hand corner, so yeah, he just, sometimes the game on power does kind of lock the wheels a little bit and get you a little bit of you got to do some opposite lock to kind of straighten it out. I did look back at that actually and took some photos and sent it to him and showed him kind of what happened, and he agreed. The car just, didn't want to turn to the right anymore. It somehow was on a left-hand path. So he was fine with it, and I think initially he was pissed. Initially he thought I had turned down him for some reason. I don't know why, in that corner I wouldn't turn down on him halfway through that corner. But anyway, everything's good. We sorted it out and talked about it and showed him the evidence. So moving on to the next thing. So that wasn't so bad. It didn't affect me at all, really. So now we can see we're going to hunt down the green car up in front. And I think at this point, yeah, we're second place right now, and it's Rasta Zamal 974 in front of us. So here we go past and start finishing in, coming into T1. See if we can keep it together. You get a little bit of lock up, but I still think we're okay. Nothing real dangerous. The car didn't lose any momentum, and I didn't slide very much. So now I've just got to work on hunting this guy down. And it looks like he's 2 seconds, 2.1, 2.4, 2.6, 2.6. Yep. So it's going up and down, rubber banding depending where we are on track. But I'm staying with him. He's not losing me. So let's take a look. 2.8 right there. We'll take a look at the start finish again and kind of keep an eye on that gap. So again, to summarize actually already, this as far as my Project Cars 2 racing career, This is literally my second online race with people. It's totally different racing the AI and understanding exactly what they're going to do and how aggressive they are, and totally another thing get in an actual race with these public hoppers, you know, and have these people be a lot more unpredictable. So you have to be a lot more reactive. Luckily, there's not a huge amount of strategy with this. I don't have to change tires. I don't have to do a pit stop. I don't have to do any of that stuff. The races aren't long enough. I think it's how many laps is it? It doesn't say. But the total time, I think, is 11 minutes. So we're 4 minutes in right now, 5 minutes in almost. We got 6 minutes left. We kind of wish they were longer, to be honest with you, but this is what do they call it? Like a private customer race, I guess. Somebody set it up, and I kind of just joined based on what cars they were driving, what track they were at, and kind of what I wanted to do. Because, as you guys all know, as race fans and racers yourself, you guys know that you're strong at certain tracks and certain cars, so it's kind of fun. Another little lock up there, but hit the apex fine. I like to stay middle of the road right there so I can open up that corner a little bit, that right-hander, and then use a lot of this. Now, one thing I did notice with Project Cars 2 is the slowdown penalties. They're pretty consistent, I think. That's my opinion so far. I'll probably have to do more races to give a really, complete, educated, decision on that. But so what I've seen so far, it's just you go over a little bit, outside of the white lines pretty much. They govern the track limits, and you do get an opportunity to slow down. Now, I like that fact because they're basically giving you a warning saying, hey, you took too much track, you probably gained some time, give it back. And if you don't, then you're going to have a penalty. And it's usually like 1 second, 2 seconds, I think, depending on the severity from what I've seen. So that's really cool to see. I like the warning system. I like the fact that it does that. And it gives you kind of a chance to give the time back. So traditionally, what I've done if I've got that is I just kind of let off the gas a little bit, or maybe downshift, trying to lose, a huge amount of time because, you got to fight. So let's look at the time gap again. Okay, we're 2.5, so 2.6. So I don't think we're really gaining anything. Ross is doing a good job of keeping up. And we didn't look at as a gap from us to Bolding 24. So Bolding is 6.9, 6.8 seconds. So let's say looks like 7-second average. So we'll have to look at that again when we get into T1. Ooh, big lockup and kind of turned in a little early because of it, I think. Or I kind of whipped the car a little sideways. A little bit tighter line that time. But not in these cars, thankfully, they're pretty forgiving, I think. That's why I like this class. I've always liked touring cars. Ever since the old, BTCC days, with Alan Menu and Jason Plato and, all the guys that used to race. And, well, Alan Menu still does, and Jason Plato still does races now. But back in the old days when they were really duking it out all the time, and the old, BMWs and stuff, and the old Renaults, it was really cool. Really, really door banging, really, really exciting stuff. I mean, to me, a little bit aggressive, obviously, but that's kind of the point of touring cars is they're supposed to be a little aggressive. They always in history have been. So looks like we're coming down. Or last. I think this is Coca-Cola corner. I think, or Coca-Cola bend, one of those. Let's see what we got when we come into the bridge as far as our time gaps. We're kind of monitoring that. Let's see if we're gaining. All right, 2.1, 2.2, basic same thing. So let's look at lap times. I've done a 1:34.8. So I am, let's see, fifth place actually. Fifth place is pulled off a 33.9. Oh, it's not the fastest lap. Okay, it's just the last lap they did. Okay, bummer. I wish I could see the fastest lap. Okay, that doesn't tell me enough on here. I wonder if there's a way, guys, you can tell me on replays if there's a way to look up the information. I'm just seeing overviews, interface, maps, and stuff like that. I think I played with it a little bit, but I want to go to all. There we go. Now we can see some shots like this. I like seeing these shots because then you can actually see the car, in front a little bit, occasionally anyways. Cockpit. I love that little dab of brakes there coming around the right side here on the back stretch. A slight curve right here, but not really corner, I'd say. I mean, you're full speed. You don't have to take off or anything. Coming into the chicane here. Chicane is fun in this game. You can see exactly where you need to brake too. They've done a really good job of identifying, without using cones or brake markers or anything like that, that you have to rely on. Is the pavement turns a little darker color where brakes happen. And in real life, on real life race courses, that's exactly what it looks like. You can tell where people have traditionally used the brake. So let's look at the gap again here. So 1.1, wow. So we must have missed a mistake by Rasta. And he's lost over a second, or about a second. And looks like, Inkel 214 is now up in third place behind us with 6.3. So I think it was, I don't know if it was him or not, but if he is, he's coming on strong too now towards the last couple laps of this race. Now there's still a lockup right there. I think it's just the way the nature of that corner is, and that, front-wheel drive cars, the rear-wheel drive, they always say the rear tires really, all they do is hold up the exhaust in the back end of the car. And it's totally true. Driving a front-wheel drive car myself on track, I don't have super stiff rings in my real-life race car, or not race car, but real-life track car. So I never really got a bunch of that lockup. But you can definitely see it lifting, like when I went through at Laguna Seca. I got a chance to drive Laguna Seca, and it was incredible. And coming down the corkscrew, you can see the left-right undulation, and the nature of that track lifts up, the wheels coming back. It was really fun, and it's very comparable to the game. Well, I caught up a ton on that lap, and now we're looking at 0.6 of a second, a little over half a second to the leader. Let's see if we're hunting him down really quickly. And there we go. Come to finish the lap right there. So that was actually really fun. A little bit of issue with the one car. The two cars actually hooking and kind of running into me and doing that stuff. But again, we worked it out with the drivers, and he admitted and saw that I didn't do anything wrong when initially he thought. So I kept cool and just show him the evidence. So it was no big deal. So again, that was my second experience online on Project Cars 2, and I have to say that it's super fun. I'm loving it. I wish there was more racing. I wish there was a lot more people driving it. So if you know anybody, and through this video you see it, and you're playing Forza, and you're playing GT Sport, come on over to. I'm playing an Xbox, Xbox One, obviously. Grab a wheel if you don't have one yet. I highly recommend that. Personally, just to talk about it really quickly, I got the Logitech G920. There's a very specific reason I did purchase this wheel. One, it was fairly inexpensive. I got a really good deal. I chose to get mine on eBay from somebody, and it was about $100 cheaper than what I could find in the stores. So obviously I'm not paying that retail price at Best Buy or some of the other outlets, but it was really in between this and the Thrustmaster. And I did see a few people that I follow on YouTube have issues with Thrustmaster and them not providing support for their wheels as well. And obviously outside of warranty stuff, I think once a year is about the only cover. But these guys are pretty prominent, and I thought Thrustmaster would have benefited by helping them, to be honest with you. But there was very little support from Thrustmaster. I don't know if Logitech has the same issue. They probably do, but I did not see that or experience it. So that kind of made my decision as far as that. So anyway, just a real quick synopsis of that. I think it's a reliable wheel. I think it's good. Eventually, I'm probably going to go to a Fanatec, CSL Elite or something like that, just to base start off. But I'm happy with this right now. This definitely serves my purpose. Gets me off the controller, which this is a lot more engaging, a lot more fun, and again, helps me with my muscle memory and focus and everything like that I do for real world stuff. So that's just kind of my opinion on that. Logitech I'm not affiliated with them at all. So just take it, for what it is. And I also got a little wheel stand, which again wasn't the best one, but I went for price on this one just to kind of jump into it. I didn't want to spend thousands of dollars getting a sim setup or anything like that without knowing too much into it. So now I'm getting information, getting the feedback, of what's kind of good and what kind of is out there, and researching, and going off of what people have told me. So the next setup very well might be, you know, $1,000 setup. I mean, but anyway, I'm rambling. So thank you guys again for watching. If you guys like the content, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that anytime I post a new video, you guys are informed. And again, as I said in my previous video, look forward to ORC, which is the online racing collective, where we're going to set up some league racing so you can get out of those public hoppers. Come up with a bunch of like-minded individuals that want to race hard, want to race fun, and have a really good time doing it. I've met some of really good guys, really good people on league racing, so I highly recommend it if you haven't done so already. That's your next step if you want to get serious about it and have some fun, but also meet a good group of guys. So thanks guys for tuning in. I'll check you later in the next video.